Right. 1 November 2025. And today I've got two important items that I need to cover so that we go to bed knowing what's important and what is not. The reason why I'm giving you this now is because I don't want to have a late night today. I'm trying to have no late nights. So let's quickly go into two things. The first thing I'm going to go into is the constitution, the new constitution of Zimbabwe. A proposed constitution was delivered to Mnangagwa's office a few months ago, and that is for consideration. So I want to unpack what people are saying about a kingdom. When people say Zimbabwe is going to be turned into a kingdom, how is it going to work? There are various proposals in front of the Zimbabwe government on how to change the current constitution. And you've seen that ZANU-PF has passed the resolution that the constitution must be changed. However, there are various proposals, spiritual or traditional proposals, that are before the government of Mnangagwa, including one called the Chinyakare Constitution. And don't laugh, that is what it is. It's right now under consideration. Mnangagwa has been given that constitution. A group of people have set and ratified that constitution at Njelele, one of the traditional centers of Zimbabwe. And these are the people who were involved here. So that is all the totems of Zimbabwe were represented. I don't know if it's all of them, but they were represented. That is 4 times 5 makes 20, 21 totems. You can go to Gambakwe.com. You'll be able to see this as we speak. Everything I'm saying here is already on Gambakwe.com. So what has happened is that there has been a push to move away from a constitution that they call a colonial constitution. So there is a school of thought that Zimbabwe's problems are coming from the current constitution, and therefore the constitution must be changed. And this process is being carried on by a group of people, some of them in government, some of them outside of government, some of them spiritualists, and they are working behind the scenes. And the process is as follows. At the end of 2024, there was a meeting on 12 September 2024 at Njelele. And after that meeting, a new constitution, which I've proposed or which I've given to you on Gambakwe.com, was then agreed on. A lot of work has gone into this constitution. If you look at it, it's 42 pages. It has got 12 main areas. So that is the Spirit Council, the President, ministers, provincial governors, the military, security services, and parliament, some sort of parliament. It's not parliament, but they do have that. And then they have other things like some spiritual stuff that they have in there. I don't want to unpack too much because the document is before you. A letter was then written to the Zimbabwe Electoral Commission, and it was also written to other political parties. So I'm now going to show you who has written the letter. So what I'm telling you is not something that is not done. It's done. The letters have gone and they've been presented. So if you go to Gambakwe.com, you will see what I'm talking about. The letter is there. I've put the letters for you and who received the letters, so you can see what I'm talking about. So this is just one proposal, but there are many other proposals. So ZEC was written the letter, and all these other people, the political parties, received the letter. The purpose of the letter is to say ZEC must stop organizing elections for 2028, and all these other parties must stop preparing for elections. It might look like a crazy thing, but it's not. This is what is actually before Mnangaba's office. A letter was sent to Mnangagwa also. And this is not in the letter to Mnangagwa here. This is the letter to other people, all other people. Mnangagwa received his own letter. And then there was a letter here with the proposed structure of the parliament. So you can also go and look at the proposed letter with the structure of the parliament. And then you will see that there's the actual constitutional document. I've put it in this same post. You will see the constitution. So there are three main documents. And how you read them, you click on the letter, and then at the bottom, a menu appear, and you scroll down. You'll be able to scroll inside this same document. This is so that we don't have a long post. We've made it so that it's one page, and then you scroll down the page. So what do I want to say? What I want to say here is that before Mnangagwa, currently, there are many ways of amending the constitution. And let's start with what will change if this kind of thing is passed. What is going to change? Firstly, the president will no longer be the highest power in the country. So in the country, there will now be something called the Spirit Council or Darere Mepo. That will be the highest level in a country. Darere Mepo will be the head of state. And then the president will be the head of government. And then after the head of government, there will be the judiciary. There will also be some sort of parliament. There will be no lawyers. And the current legal system will go away according to what is here. So the legislature will be there, the judiciary will be there, but the kind of system that will exist is such that you will no longer have elections. So there will be no elections. And this is supposed to start in 2028. So from 2028, there will be no elections anymore. On top of that, the president will no longer be elected. The Spirit Council will appoint the president, and the president will no longer leave office. They will stay in office until they commit an offense or they die. And the president will be elected through a strange mechanism. And you can go and check it out. We've broken down everything that is said here, how the president will be elected through a set of tests that will be carried out, including going into the bush for a certain number of days in a dangerous forest, making sure that if you come out, you are supposed to be the president. It's all there. You can see a declaration of war, all these things. All young people will be supposed to go into the military. So every able-bodied man will go into the military and so forth. It's all in here. And then in terms of lawyers, I said there will be no more lawyers. The judicial system will be based on restitution. So that is the traditional way that justice was done in Zimbabwe. So where are we now with this thing? So where we are, I've talked to the people who drafted this thing. And I've pressed them quite a lot to say, you are creating this constitution. Is it accepted by the president? Who is going to ratify it? Who is going to sign it? Is it a real thing? And they've said to me, they walked to Mnangagwa's office and left it there. So in September 2024, this was left in Mnangagwa's office. Mnangagwa has got it. And the people that gave him this, they are spiritualists. They are representing 21 totems of Zimbabwe. And this was signed at Njelele. You can see that we have the coat of arms down here. And I don't know what that thing at the top is, but these totems are all represented. Anamoyo, Anahumba, and all these people are here. You can go to Gambakwe and see this thing. So, do I take this seriously? Yes, I do. What is happening now is very serious. Don't take this thing lightly. We are going through a big change and head of change in Zimbabwe. So, while this constitution is the one that we have in public, there are other constitutions which want to turn Zimbabwe into a kingdom. And this is one of them. This is a kingdom. There is no election. The parliamentarians take forever. So if you're a parliamentarian and you're selected as a specialist, you do not leave. If you are A president, you don't leave. There's no election. If you are in the judiciary, you don't leave. There's no, so it's a kingdom. So that is what they're creating. And this is one example that they're looking at, one approach that they're looking at. There are also spirit mediums in this thing, and you can take your time to read all the documents that are here. And as I said, it is written that those who don't want, those who do not like it, must immigrate. It's written there in the letter. If you don't like it, you must immigrate. Did you guys get it? So this is what was agreed on September 2024. And I want to get the date correct. So if you go to Gambakwe, you see I put the date right at the top on purpose, so that you understand this constitution was agreed on the 12th of September 2024. Do you know what is critical about the 12th of September? The 12th of September is critical because Mnangagwa's birthday is the 15th of September. This means that a ritual was conducted before Mnangagwa's birthday on that date, which is the 15th of September 2024. The things I'm telling you, I'm not making them up. They are real things. That means a whole bunch of people went to Njelele on the 12th. I don't know how many days they were there, but what is clear is that Munumutapa is going to feature. You can't do anything without Munumutapa here. It's very important for you to understand what is going on. They are exploring how to get out of the current constitution we have in Zimbabwe and put in place another one. So I think for now I'm covered. We've said what needs to be said. There is a proposed new constitution for Zimbabwe to make Zimbabwe a kingdom. Now let's quickly go into the impeachment of Mnangagwa. So yesterday I mentioned that Mnangagwa was about to be impeached. So let's change the banner so that you guys can, I want to share it with different people. So Mnangagwa impeachment. So ED impeachment update. What's happening with ED impeachment? I remember I talked to More Precision, Mukoma More Precision. And I said, I talked to him on Sunday last week. He said to me, Gambakwe, can you publish for me my court case, which I want to take up against Mnangagwa? And I said, I'll look at it. Then I forgot about it. Then I saw guys starting to circulate it. So yesterday I published it. And he's still looking for $200. So if you want to help him to lodge the case, if you're a kind person and you want to help him lodge the case, that's the number. WhatsApp me. I'll put you in touch with him. And then you can give him the $200. You can submit the papers. So what has happened that he has not submitted the papers because he doesn't have the money as yet. But I talked to him, and unfortunately we failed to have a live because Zimbabwe network is quite slow. However, I recorded him on my phone. So let me play for you the conversation. It's about 5 minutes. Then you can hear what he said himself. And then we'll take it from there. So there is the conversation between me and Mkoma More Precision. Muzanzi. Okay. What about the current case that you've got against the president of Zimbabwe on 2030?
It's still in the draft. It's still in the draft. We haven't actually filed it with the court. We will hope to file it next week.
Okay. Have you received funding as yet?
Nothing as yet, my brother.
Okay. So what is the case about? Can you just go into the details of the case?
Can you come again?
Can you please provide us with the details of the case? What is the case about?
We are saying, according to Chapter 5, the duties of the president are to respect, uphold, and defend the Constitution of Zimbabwe. What happened during the ZANU-PF conference is a violation. The oath of office which the president took to uphold and respect the Constitution, and that is enough ground to start processes in the parliament to dismiss the president for violating his oath of office and violating his duties as the president. That is what is in our draft order.
Okay. So are you represented or are you going to be self-representing?
I'm a self-actor.
Okay. But the case is not yet, the amendment is not yet happened in parliament. So how are you taking parliament to court when they don't even know about it?
according to the Constitution, under the judiciary, I think it's chapter 8 of the Constitution of Zimbabwe, it says when the conduct of the president is unconstitutional, the Constitutional Court has a mandate to investigate and to look whether the ISCO conduct is constitutional. The president took an oath to defend the Constitution. He was there when a resolution was made to mutilate the Constitution. That enough is enough ground to say the president is acting ultra vires the Constitution, is in breach of his duties as a president, and is breaching his oath of office because he is violating chapter 4 rights, the rights, political rights of citizens and the political rights of political parties to have free and regular elections. By suspending 2028 elections, he actually violating the regular elections, which is in chapter 4, right?
Okay, how come you did not cite ZANU-PF, the party?
ZANU-PF did not take an oath of office. It is a political party. They can make their own resolution. But the president now, he took an oath of office. He's not just a president of ZANU-PF, he's a president of Zimbabwe. He's got a duty to the citizens of Zimbabwe to uphold their chapter 4 rights.
Okay, so you're saying even if ZANU-PF made the resolution, you're only taking the people like your parliament, attorney general, all these other people, but you're not taking ZANU-PF as a party.
Yes, my brother. If you try to look at it, that are respondents in this case took an oath to defend the Constitution of Zimbabwe. They are there to be vigilant and to watch and make sure that all the provisions and all the clauses in the Constitution of Zimbabwe are faithfully observed. That's why we cited Minister of Justice, who ironically is the one who was the speaker announcing the destruction and the mutilation of the Constitution of Zimbabwe. The Minister of Justice was supposed to be in the forefront of upholding the Constitution and the rule of law. And also the Speaker of Parliament, instead of being there as a watchdog, providing the checks and balances on the excesses of the executive, they are there colluding. As it stands right now, the other two arms of state are defunct. We're talking of the judiciary and the legislature. So that's why they are citing them as respondents. If you try to look at the of the Zimbabwe Human Rights Commission, it is supposed to summon anyone of authority who violates the Bill of Rights under chapter 4.
Okay. I think it's clear. We've also seen the document that you are circulating. Is there anything else you want to say before we close?
I just want to say the situation that we are facing is Zimbabwe is a tipping point. We cannot allow Zimbabwe to be turned into a kingdom. This is the republic, a constitutional democracy. We have to protect the Constitution of 2013. It is the legacy that were left by Morgan Tsvangirai and Robert Mugabe. And over 90% of Zimbabwean citizens voted for it. We have to protect it. It transcends political power. We have to raise the citizens. We have to defend it. It is a sacrosanct document. It is our national conscience as a nation. We have to defend it. It's not meant to please one person. It's naive. When it comes to issues of power, we should not put men, but it bind them from mischief by the chains of the Constitution.
Okay, thank you very much, Mkoma. All right, so I think we've covered it. And I don't want to, I had a long conversation with him. We covered many other things. But let me explain what he says about Mnangagwa impeachment. And the argument makes a lot of sense. So this is going to be looked at by the courts. So the Constitutional Court is going to look at this. I am telling you, when I started talking to him, it didn't make sense to me. But then as I listened to him, it started making sense to me. So let me tell you what he says. Mnangagwa is elected as a president of Zimbabwe. When he's sitting in a place and people make a resolution that is unconstitutional, Mnangagwa cannot just sit there and say the ZANU-PF is the one making the resolution. That is the argument is taken to court. Ziambi cannot sit in a place where people are making an unconstitutional resolution and just say it's ZANU-PF, I'll announce it because I'm ZANU-PF. Mudenda cannot sit in a place where an unconstitutional resolution is made and just sit there and do nothing. That is what is taken to court. He's taken to court the fact that those people that are supposed to prevent unconstitutional acts should speak up immediately. Something unconstitutional happen, They should stand up and say, what you're suggesting now is illegal, is unconstitutional. If they don't do it, the Zimbabwe Human Rights Commission should immediately call them and say what you're doing is unconstitutional, it's against the Bill of Rights. For example, Mudenda allowed singing in parliament. It's not allowed in the Constitution of Zimbabwe to sing in parliament. Go and check it. It's not allowed. But Mudenda allowed ZANU-PF members to sing in parliament. Let me show you. Okay, you can see Mona is not singing. Mona is not singing. People who know they're not singing. People who know the law. If you look in that whole group, Mona, Sanyatwe, I think Mdenda himself, they're not singing because it's illegal to sing in parliament. You are not allowed to do it. You should immediately say order, order, and stop everyone from singing. So the same example I just gave you now, that if someone, a president of a country is sitting in a place and people say, let us change the constitution so that you can go for 40 years. That moment the president should stand up and say, like he did in Bulawayo, that is not allowed. He should say that it doesn't matter whether it's to benefit him or not, because they want to extend it and say ED 2030. So the Constitution of Zimbabwe clearly says the incumbent cannot benefit. So that is why he is taking Mnangagwa to court. I hope you understand why he's taking him to court. And this man was part of the drafting team of COPAC. So I've heard people saying he's been planted by Mnangagwa or all those kind of things. I don't think that is true. He does not have money to file this case. So if you guys have got money, help him so that you can see if that is a man from Mnangagwa. Don't be full of theories. If you don't like what he's doing, go and file yourself because they're not captured. So go and file the case yourself. We've got many organizations, Zimbabwe Lawyers for Human Rights. Why are they not filing? Because they are obviously independent. So why are they not filing if they think that is being used? There are other organizations, Zimbabwe Lawyers for Human Rights, electoral bodies like I think there's an electoral body which is not ZEC, which monitors elections. They know how to deal with this kind of matters so that there's clarity while the parliamentary process is taking place. They can then go to court and be clear, be people that we trust. So this case can be heard in the Constitutional Court. I agree with him that this case can be heard, and it's nothing to do with ZANU-PF. It's the fact that people who are supposed to uphold the Constitution are sitting and keeping quiet when the Constitution is being violated. Okay. This is Mnangagwa. Games being played. People that you bring show are below average. Copy in conversation with Trevor Ngube. I don't know about Trevor Ngube. Trevor Ngube does one show in a month. Do you want me to do one show a month? This guy is ZANU-PF. Yes, everyone is ZANU-PF. You are ZANU-PF. Everyone, right now, there's no other political party. The only party that is there right now is ZANU-PF and M31 Zimbabwe. So if I am M31 Zimbabwe and I'm ZANU-PF, you are the worst ZANU-PF I've ever seen. Because they've got nothing. All you do is follow other people's parties. Form your own. Don't complain when people follow parties. It's totally legal to be a member of ZANU. So stop this garbage of saying that one is ZANU, that one is this. Who are you? What are you? No election. Does that work for Zimbabwe? Yes. So let's summarize. We've covered two things. The first constitution, Chinyakare Constitution, was presented to Mnangagwa in September 2024. It's under consideration. A letter was written to ZEC and a bunch of other people. And this constitution, if agreed to, will nullify the existing constitution and there'll be kingdom, and the kingdom will elect a president through a spiritual council. And then the spiritual council and the Minister of Defense, the commander of the Defense Forces, will appoint some sort of parliament or of experts, of 100 experts. they'll run the country. And then these people's tenure does not end. There's no election. There's no election for president. There's no election for the judiciary. There are no lawyers. There's no election for the parliamentarians. There's no, no one is elected. There's a kingdom. That's crazy. So that is the first constitution, which was already ratified by 21 spirit mediums at Njelele on 12 September 2024. You can go and check it out on Gambakwe.com. And then we have got an interview that I've done with More Precision Muzadzi, the guy who drafted, he was one of the drafters of the current constitution. So I want you guys to remember this thing that I'm saying to you. This constitution you're seeing now, he's one of the people that drafted it. He went with Morgan Tsvangirai, and he was in the team that brought Morgan Tsvangirai into the GNU. So those are the things I'm giving you. I trust this guy. So trust him, trust More Precision, and help him to do his thing, to file. And then obviously we say that he has not filed because he doesn't have money. So that case is not yet before the court. But if you don't like what he's doing, do it yourself. Don't just sit in your room and criticize. Do something. That's what I'm talking about. Zimbabweans like criticizing, but you never do anything. We are ndikupe munda. So politician nazo. Who is this one? Mkwenendu Juju. Mkoma mkandipa mari. Imini. Mkoma mkwenendu. We are in cash. Adidi munda. Doda cash. Hapa. We are in cash. Ndukupa. Mungu ene million yenyu. Mwati Gambakwe iyo million. Siya zwe politics. Ndoda kuti uite zve cash. Atidi munda. No di munda inini. So ni chirima. That's gonna be chirima. All right. I would like to thank all of you for watching. It has been amazing. I like it. Where's my skeleton? Where's my skeleton? Come on, skeleton. I want to give you guys my skeleton before I go. So here is my skeleton. Yes, yes, yes. So me and my friend, we are going for today. We're not coming back. I'll see you guys tomorrow morning. It's been an amazing day. We are starting to see action. The next 2 months are going to be critical. Go and watch Apostle Makore, what he says about the kingdom. So he's not saying what I'm saying now. He is explaining how a kingdom is going to work. Mnangagwa is going to step down and he's going to run ZANU-PF. He's not going to be in government. He will be behind the scenes. In 2028, Mnangagwa is going to come back. Go and find out how Mnangagwa is going to come back. In that model, as I said, there are many permutations before Mnangagwa right now. It's not one. So they are looking at option 1, option 2, option 3. And currently, the other option that they're looking at is for Mnangagwa to become the head of ZANU-PF, Tagwire the head of government, and then Mnangagwa comes back in an election 2028 until 2023. Do you get that? That is under consideration within ZANU-PF. So go and check out and don't sit back without understanding. In all that you need to get understanding. God is in it. God is in it. Do you see that? This man is going to be the next president. Tagwire. He's going to be the head of government. Mnangagwa will stick around in ZANU-PF and they're like a tag team. However, Apostle Makore says something very interesting. He says that once you hand someone power, you never know what is going to happen. When you hand someone power, when you give Tagwire power, what he's going to do will surprise you. That is what Apostle Makore says. He didn't say Tagwire. He just says, if you hand someone power. When you listen to Apostle Makore, listen very carefully. I knew that guy when he had 5 followers. 5. And there was one of these followers that was following Apostle Makore. That is crazy. Then in Tanzania, the declaration has been done. The current president has been declared as a winner, 98% winner. And she's been given the certificate. It's amazing. Over here, 700 people dead. So the young people tried, but they failed. So that is it for today. I would like to thank all of you for watching. I now need to run to my other job, which I need to do. And I'll see you guys in the morning. I love it. I just want to address one thing. There's a young man called 0.5 Creative. He has made a video claiming that he was attacked at his home. And that is, some people came and attacked him, and there was an attempt to assassinate him. And he's looking for money for rent so that he can move to a different house. That guy is a conman, himself, 0.5 creative, and a young man called Kulend. They are conmen. Don't listen to what they're saying. They've been paid to lie, and don't give them any attention. They've got nothing of value. If you look at their channels, it's garbage. So we're talking national things here. I don't have time to address nonsense. Right. Thank you very much, everyone, for watching. And I'll see you again later, tomorrow in the morning. And good night.